With the explosion in popularity of POWERWASH Simulator, it continues to prove the fact that there are incredibly niche games out there that can have great success based on satisfaction and just how chill they are. Sometimes the games we play just get way too competitive and can cause more stress than anything.
Wow! What?
We can forget the core reason of why we play video games in the first place, to chill and just have a good time. And that's what simulator games are really all about. That's why today I'm on the search for the most satisfying simulator games. Starting off with the king of simulator games as of recently, POWERWASH Simulator is exactly what you expect, except it does it so well. You're a power washer and you get jobs to power wash things. That's the game. But there's multiple jobs, multiple nozzles to choose from depending on the surface, soap, and some upgrades to your power washer giving you some sort of a progression system. This game is just so relaxing. I'd be having a stressful day working on the goddamn Papers, Please video, and after I just pop this game up and just have a great time. Honestly, the strong suit of these simulator games is showing how a game can make something seem so much better than it actually is in real life. I've tried power washing in real life and it wasn't as fun. I used to have this stress feeling the more I played this game in one session, but I figured something out. I've been enlightened in the power washing method. When starting a big project, don't go all out using the biggest nozzle and just spraying everywhere. Nah, start small and work your way up from there. This playground might be an absolute vast junkyard that has filthy gremlins that played in it. But just work on the slide, man. You just gotta start on the little things and work your way up. And that's how you get the most out of this game, honestly. This game is fantastic, very relaxing. We're starting off strong with an S. Call it recency bias, I don't care. Oh, did I mention this is going to be a tier list? Because it's going to be a tier list. Quick disclaimer. Since I'm covering so many simulator games and can't really go into all of these games far and in depth, I'm rating them based on first impressions of the game. I probably said something similar earlier, but an aspect I love about video games is that you could take high stress things in real life and just turn it into a pleasant time. Sitting alone in your basement. I know for actual truck drivers who've been doing it for many years, it's just second nature to them. But I already hate driving in real life, so I can't imagine operating this on the highway. But in my time in EUROTRUCK Simulator, it was a pretty nice experience. Driving down the open roads, taking in the scenery, until I remembered it was EUROTRUCK Simulator. And I was about to drive down the right side of the lane. That's kind of how it was for some parts of the game. I would doze off in the scenery or something and snap back to, I'm on the wrong side of the road. But not really. There's also that one time where I forgot that I was a truck entirely, and I crashed into the slow dude that I passed. But we don't talk about that. I wasn't even supposed to be doing that in the first place. But really, the game is much more than the things I've said before. There's a ton of customization, the map is great, and although I didn't do this myself, you can pop on some music and just be vibing and chilling your way through jobs. All in all, you're getting a pretty solid experience. I would put this game in B tier. From the same developers, American Truck Simulator is pretty much what you're getting prior, but it takes place in the good old US of A, more specifically the California area. Much of what I've said before applies here. It's a relaxing experience just driving around in a job that would normally be stressful. But I'd say much of the stress from before is alleviated because I'm driving in a traffic system that I'm much more used to. So on the tier list, this game's an S. You might be asking, you really rated American Truck Simulator higher than Euro? Hear me out. As much as this is going to make me sound like a filthy American,
Damn that man!
My entire life I was accustomed to the left driver's side, right side of the road type of deal. It's like asking a person which hand they would prefer writing in. Of course they're going to pick the one they've been writing in their whole life. But James.
It's a genetic.
Well, I couldn't choose where I was born either, so my rating still stands. I love both of these truck simulators and I would definitely return to one of them again, but if I'm going to choose, it's going to be American Truck Simulator. You've probably heard of a few popular farming games such as Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon. Well, this is a game that tackles the much more raw and realistic aspect of farming, including using heavy equipment to sow, harvest, or even cultivate your fields. That's right, you can't have sprinklers or your spouse doing all the work for you, you're on the grind for the entire time. But the thing is, I couldn't really get into it. It's a really grind-heavy game, and the thing with those types of games, you're going to have to be really into it to be able to grind for extended periods of time. There's nothing inherently wrong with the game or any criticisms that I'm able to give. I simply just couldn't get into it. If you're into farming, by all means give it a shot. I'm positive you'll like it, but it's just not for me. For us people with attention spans for up to 10 seconds, we should probably stick to Stardew Valley. That's why I'm giving it a C. For the nerds who don't want to go outside, even in a video game, there is PC Building Simulator. You run a shop that essentially repairs, upgrades, and even builds PCs for clients. Not only does it hit the sweet spot for tech hobbyists, but there's also a favorite among computer science majors: zero social interaction. You get the email, do what they ask, and everything is just shipped in and out. One thing that will affect it on the satisfaction scale is the dust cleaning part. It might be because POWERWASH Simulator set the bar high, but you just kind of hold click and nothing really happens, and eventually, poof, the dust is gone. But the noise. Music to the ears. Disregarding that, it's a really good game that gives you the fun parts of building PCs, but the wiring's still there. So much wiring. I'll put this game in S tier.
Tartar, caviar, white chocolate crab.
Alright, we are going from a hobby of mine to something that is not so much a hobby of mine. Don't get me wrong, every once in a while I like to cook an egg. Besides, I've experienced working in food delivery getting pissed at the fact that the food is taking 5 minutes to come out, so let's see what they go through. Never again. I can tell you firsthand that this game is not chill or satisfying. I never thought I'd say this, but honestly I would rather do the real thing over the game thing. There are time limits to the orders, which isn't exactly a bad thing, but the controls are really awkward and clunky, like setting down anything or putting something in the oven. And just look at me trying to flip this salmon. I'm gonna put this one in D tier. I didn't really like it. You've probably heard of this game. I remember it back when it first came out, and man was I surprised when I saw what it turned into. I'll quickly run it down. You're basically creating an army with a budget to fight another army, but instead of fighting in a controlled fashion in, let's say, an RTS game, they fight in sort of this chaotic fashion that gives it a signature, totally accurate vibe. What surprised me is the amount of content added to the game. There's a ton of maps, factions with their own unique units, as well as some boss types of units that will just wreak havoc. Every battle is never the same, and I just love the scenarios you can make. Here's a bunch of spear throwers fighting some cavemen. Wait, wasn't he the last one? And here we have some bone mages fighting an army of cavemen. Here's an army of farmers fighting an army of squires. Here's a catapult in a standoff with a ballista, while getting healed by mages. Balloon archers, those are a thing. And finally, here's a demon overlord just carving through an army of cavemen. Really, the stuff I said just now is only scratching the surface of what you can make happen in this game. Because of how much this game has improved over the years and the satisfaction and replayability of the chaotic battles, this game is getting an S tier. I remember wanting this game really bad as a kid, but somehow I never got it. But here I am today, and I still really like the concept of it. I know this game is kind of an outlier because there isn't simulator in the title of it, but honestly, you could put simulator instead of Tycoon and it would still fit the criteria. It's a business simulator about the trial and error of what combination of things should go into a game. Let's say you're making a zombie game. What category will work with it? Is gameplay more important than the story? Should more work be put into the dialogue or the sound? It's this and many other decisions that will determine the game's success. It's simple but very fun mechanic. It's the kind of thing you need to really play to understand, and I would definitely recommend it because it's an A-tier game. Finally, a game I haven't known prior to this, a game about working on cars. For me, I couldn't tell you a thing about cars, but I did watch some Netflix show one time.
You're now driving instructor.
The game starts in a menu where I'm trying to adjust the sound, and apparently I can only increase it in increments of 5. Getting into this game, I can tell that this game is a very steep learning curve. I mean, this game has the worst tutorial I've ever seen in my life. And I play League of Legends.
First blood. In League of Legends, you...
Want to know what it is? It tells you that you have to take the car on a test drive. That's it. Nothing about the complex intricacies of cars or even any game features and controls that you need to know for working on the cars. None of that. Instead, I was kind of just stuck spending half an hour trying to figure out a clue as to what to do. I don't know the first thing about cars, and you know what? I'm not their target demographic, I get it. But there really should be a better way to get off your feet. You know what? Since I didn't accomplish anything in the game and can't really give this one a fair rating, I'm gonna change the F tier to unrated. What I'm telling you is, if you're like me and don't know a thing about cars, this game is F tier. Don't get it. At least learn the fundamentals before picking up, I'd say. But for those who are car mechanics or enthusiasts, I can't really give you a clear-cut rating. You're gonna have to find that one out yourself. Whatever that thing was that was in the last game, the successor, this time about motorcycles, makes up for it tenfold. It actually tells you some things that you're supposed to do and allows you to pick up the basics a lot better. Even though I didn't get fully into it, at least I had an idea of the fundamentals. Something I will never take for granted from now on. The game is a demo, a prologue of what is to come, so there isn't too many features. There were some optimization issues here and there, but hey, it's early access and it's free, so I'll put this one to C. We're now breaking into VR. This time for a game that's more comedic than realistic. It depicts how a human would fit in doing jobs in a robot-dominant society. There are 4 different jobs and lots of scenarios that can come with each of them. Nothing can explain them better than just showing you them right now.
Hello, human. Might I trouble you for some tea and crumpets?
Could I also get one of those meat cylinders, please? That looks...
acceptable.
What are you talking? No, I'm talking to you. No, you. Yeah, you. You got that hot dog already? Yeah. Oh, hot dog? No, I was talking, not you. I want some gum. No, not you, the human. I want to buy some gum already. Jeez, what is this, your first job?
Human, I've got this coupon for a Sleazebot special.
I'm Sleazebot, the owner of this fine establishment. Now this bot's got a coupon, so let's take real good care of them by sabotaging their car and making them come back later for more work.
You've really earned my patronage, good human.
Nice job with that, bot. You did all right, human. Now you keep at it. I'll be in the back counting the money.
Great stuff. I'll put this one in A. This game is the sequel to Job Simulator. Pretty much the same premise, except you're on a vacation traveling to pretty much your standard RPG locations. This takes on a more open world mechanic, which I don't really think fits as well as the prior game's non-moving jobs, but it's fun for what it is. I'll give you some more scenarios in this game. Promise this isn't just me being lazy and just not wanting to write more of the script.
That was a good point.
Alright, we're putting this game in B tier. Okay, we've done it. We have gone through 12 simulator games, and this is the final result. Obviously, there are way more simulator games out there, but I tried to stretch for the most well-known simulator games, at least the ones that I think so. Maybe a sequel will come out in the future, expanding upon the tier list. But for now, I'm going back to POWERWASH Simulator. You know, I think it's starting to grow on me.